it's already hard enough to be in this dump, especially coming back from a 3-day weekend. And it's been like this a whole lot. I mean, I come in just hoping, especially since my coworker just came back from a vacation, you know, normally like if I would approach him, I'd be like, hey, like, what's up? And I thought he'd be in a joyful mood, but he just wasn't. And when I came in, he was like, did you reset the password? And he looked pretty concerned, you know. He was like, you didn't reset the password, did you? He was talking about like his login to his, I don't know if it's his constant contact or his computer, but whatever the case may be, that really just told me like, I mean, like should this be any surprise to me as to why I've been feeling this ongoing misery for as long as I've been here? I mean, none of this should even surprise me. And by the way, I already applied to 7 jobs. That's how desperate I'm going as far as wanting to leave. And now it's like, you know what? I know I'm feeling it. I just do not want to be here anymore. Look what I went through last Thursday with that craptastic company president. Oh, look at that. This morning I prepared the file. Oh no. I updated the catalogs. I did this. I did that. I'm tired of this fool, dude. I'm tired. This is why I'm talking to no one right now, dude. Like I just want my peace away from my own circle at this time. I don't want any of these guys to think that I'm like I don't want them to feel. I feel bad for these guys. I feel bad that they keep seeing me at my worst. Eventually, these guys are gonna leave me behind if they keep seeing me on beast mode, just talking some real shocking crap. That's why I just had it, and the vibes are just about the same. I remember coming out of even just every normal weekend, Rico would ask me, "How's my weekend?" This and that. But like Armando here, and I'm not trying to to crap on him and all that. I know he's not a very talkative guy, but at a time like this, I thought. I mean, sometimes he'll ask me, "Hey, did you have a good weekend?" This and that, coming out of some 3D weekends. But considering he's been off for this long, and but I'm not gonna expect anything anymore, because this is who he is. And it's not just him. The vibes are so dual every freaking time. So I just had it, dude. That just told me, you know what? Even though I said it was my final straw when almost 20 people left in 2023, well, guess what? This is going to be an even more final straw for me in that, and that I want to keep applying. I don't care what happens. Once I get these job interviews, I'm going to take advantage of each one. If I get 2 this week, I'm going to take advantage of each one. Because that's all I'm going to do until. So until then, I just need my peace away from, just wanting to talk to anyone. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I just, I just need to like be alone at this time. All right. So let me just get into this topic right here. I had thought about how I was going to do this topic. Not to really, make any harm like on me and Julio's friendship. Look, I mean, for the most part, we had a lot of great memories during our, what was it, 20 year run, 25, 27, I think, because I've known him since elementary school. So my thing is, as you look right here in this thumbnail, it's me and Julio in the foreground. In the background, if you see, it has me and Tristan on it. So why do I have these guys up here, Tristan and Julio? This topic is mainly to discuss, if me and Julio's overall friendship tenure was just as tough as me and Tristan's. What do you mean by tough friendship? It's not like I'm not looking at this as it's a trying hard friendship, because we've done a whole lot together. Now, in their minds, it may not be nearly as much as what they desire for it to be, especially when it comes to, me trying to maximize my outdoor potential. Because remember, these guys have have done a whole lot together, right? They've done they've done a number of travels. They've done a number of social events. I mean, these guys have done a whole lot. Their resumes, their life resume is obviously like 10 times better than mine, for Christ's sake. You know what I'm saying? So, look, I mean, we've been friends for so long. You know, I got to attend Julio's wedding. It was an amazing moment in our entire friendship tenure. But let's just be honest, there has been some inconsistencies in both of our friendships, me and Julio's and me and Tristan's, right? We had a lot of ups and downs, you know, despite so many good to great hangouts that we had. And yes, we did travel with one another a couple of times. I traveled with Tristan, you know, alone, like twice in 2018 and 2017, right? Once in 2017, once in 2018, I mean. And with me and Julio, it's been mostly, it's a couple of travels, but with Robbie, right? So here's the thing. I asked myself this question: if my friendship with Julio is just, you know, is tough, it's just as tough as mine with Tristan, you know, did we have overall a tough friendship that me and Tristan had? Because remember, with me and Tristan, it's been pretty much a roller coaster ride, okay? Not to mention, you know, I kind of get a feeling that's how my coworker is. That's why you know, it's almost like I can, you know, he's very similar to Tristan in the sense in that, you know, when it comes to like our chemistry, you know, a lot of times we don't really talk with one another, this and that, hardly ever any communication, and you know, there's just some real awkward. It's like sometimes there just isn't a flow, like a natural flow. You know what I'm saying? That's how it is with me and Tristan. I'm gonna tell you one thing. Both times when we went to travel all the way to Bishop, I understand it was like a 5-hour, 6-hour drive, but I think there's been like a 1-2 hour period where I don't know if I can go out to say it was like an hour or close to an hour, but there was like a long stretch where we just did not talk. Yeah. So if I thought this was bad here, I mean, shoot. Like it's awkward silence, you know, while on the way to freaking, you know, while we were still trying to get there and even going back from the trip, you know. So it just, I mean, there is some similarities when it comes to my coworker and Tristan in that sense. And I can tell you right too, even the posture sometimes, you know, why else did me and Tristan's friendship just like, you know, after that really simple misunderstanding that it wasn't going to work out. Like he just told me I'm done with this conversation, and then in the end he's like, forget me. Like it's dead silence. Like he didn't tell me anything. He didn't say he was done with me and all that. Okay. So, you know, it's for the most part, we had a roller coaster ride, and although we had some great memories, great hangouts and all that, even some crazy ones, me and Julio's too, like, you know, we've already documented a number of, you know, awesome good to great to awesome memories, you know, as far as, you know, what we've done together in our entire potential friendship tenure, especially when he joined the Nutballers in 2010, late 2010, right? And obviously you met Robbie in 2011, and you know, all of a sudden he's part of the group, which was, you know, which really helped to, you know, to strengthen the group vibes, you know, along with Russ and Dewey, who came in 2012. So here's the thing, man. What I mean when it comes to tough friendship is their expectations of me as a friend. Now, never mind the fact that I mentioned about their expectations of me maximizing my outdoor potential. Never mind that part. When it comes to our friendship in general, I think these guys, like, because their maturity level is pretty high, like, and I know they've had tons of more life experience than I ever had, even prior to meeting these guys. or at least for the sake of Julio, like reconnecting with him in 2000, late 2010. Um, I think these guys have. Let's just be honest. I think these guys have had some like plenty of expectations for me, in that, they wanted to see more out of me and like how I can deliver as a friend, right? And I know that I've had a lot of mess ups with both of these guys, and their criticisms with me were very rightfully so, right? So, that being said, I mean, I know there's a lot of things I did to piss off Julio, and I get all that. Like, you know, but it's just a lot of learning experience, and, how we can strengthen our friendship. But at the end of the day, I think that, I can never, like, I mentioned this so many times already, that I just could never be on the level of, in a level of, you know, mentality that they have, as far as like how to approach things, how to approach people, how to approach life in a positive way. These guys have gone through a lot more than I have, quite frankly, and like I just could never try to live up to or level up to their mentality like that. You know, I understand the advices that these guys have given me. Especially with Julio telling me, I got to learn how to take accountability for my actions, and for Tristan, a long time ago telling me I need to have very strong self-control, and that it needs to apply even in the most stressful situations. And unfortunately, especially with the fact that I'm still in this dump, it's clear to me I have a hard time just adhering to advices like theirs. And it's not to say that their advices are hard to understand. It's just that they are challenging, in that it does take, small step. For me, in the case, it's small steps to getting accustomed to, to their advices on how to grow as a friend and as a person. These guys have definitely grown in that sense, which is why I think they thought that I failed when it comes to, delivering up to, their advices that they've given me, right? So Tristan's a little more harsh when it comes to his criticisms, because some of them he's just more easily annoyed at things, whereas with Julio, he's more chill. And although I think Julio is more talkative than Tristan, I just think, like, with Julio's, there's some criticisms that, for Julio towards me in the past, that it's more, it's I want to go as far as to saying it's more harsh, but it's just a little more whatchamacallit. It's just I want to say worse or more harsh, but it's just more it's just stronger. Like, his criticisms are a little stronger than Tristan's sometimes. But although Tristan's criticisms to me sometimes, like, even when I'm trying to be very spirited, like, he gets easily annoyed, and it's almost like I did him, I committed a crime towards him, and that he didn't like my spirit like that. He gets very easily annoyed, so I was like, I don't get it, you know what I'm saying? And sometimes he just comes off acting like an ass like that, and I'm not trying to say that he's an asshole like that, but that's how it came off to him as. Whereas with Julio, he's the way he approaches things, he's more chill about it. He doesn't come off as an asshole, even though a lot of times when we hung out with Robbie, the way they've clowned around with me, it's more like they were, not in the level of how Tristan was, but they're just more like, they're hardcore clown, jokers, just when it comes to like joking around with me. I get all that. But at the end of the day, I'm gonna come out here to say that, my friendship with Julio is not nearly as tough as mine's with Tristan's. Now remember, simply because mine and Tristan's it's been a roller coaster ride throughout, and it's clear to me that we just had it more. We've had already like a few silence periods, whereas with Julio, it's been more, natural flowing. And obviously I lasted longer with him, after me and Tristan's friendship ended in late 2020. And I got to do more stuff with him. Obviously was part of his wedding in 2021. And you know it's just before everything else just came apart. But no, it's not, although we've had like a number of criticisms in both friendships, at the end of the day, I think me and Tristan's friendship just had it tough, like in comparison to me and Julio's, in that I think me and Julio just we just we talk a lot of basketball. We've done a lot of basketball, and at the end of the day, I think we just had more smooth moments than me and Tristan at times. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, it's not as tough as I thought it would be after, just seeing how much of a roller coaster ride that me and Tristan had in our friendship. So, that's not, there's no similarity. There's no similarity there. I mean, me and Julio's has been, I know in the beginning it was kind of a rough roller coaster ride, but since then, especially since joining the Nut Ballers, it's everything's just gone a little more smooth, although there's still at times when he's expressed his concerns, but it's not nearly as bad as it was in the past. Excuse me. So yeah, man, that's all I gotta say about it. So you tell me what you guys think. Peace. Thank you for watching, everyone. Like, share, and subscribe.